Welcome to our podcast, Active Ageing and Employability, the broader context. In this lecture, what I really hope to do is to offer you an overview of the situation across Europe in relation to employment and older people. That's paid employment and older people. I think it will set this module in a much broader context and hopefully highlight the importance of what you're learning. So in terms of the module, this podcast really answers the question, why do we need to promote active ageing in the workplace? If we step back for a second and we look at the broader demographic trends, in 2002 the World Health Organization described global ageing as both a triumph and a challenge of the 21st century. It said that population ageing is first and foremost a success story for public health policies, as well as social and economic development. And we can see in these figures here the extent of the demographic revolution. So that in 2050, it's projected that there will be 2 billion people, older people, with 80% of those older people living in developing countries. If you also look, not only do we have an increasing and ageing population, but also we have the proportion of young children and young people is actually undergoing a demographic dip. So as the proportion of children and young people declines and the proportion of people aged 60 and over increases, this kind of triangular population pyramid in 2002 is replaced with a more cylinder-like structure. Of course, this has got implications both nationally and economically. Enabling older people to continue to work is important because it represents a positive policy response to the challenges to economic prosperity posed by ageing societies. In the United Kingdom, the ratio of population aged 65 and over to the population aged between 20 and 64 is projected to rise from 27% to just under 50% in 2050. Which means that the share of older men who participate in the labour market at 72% is still around 7% points lower than in the mid-1980s. Okay, so there are lots of kind of questions to be asked there, particularly because many older people withdraw from the labour market well before reaching the state pension age. So in the United Kingdom, unless there's a substantial increase in the labour force participation, especially amongst older people, available labour resources will remain broadly stagnant in the United Kingdom over the next 50 years. And this in turn could lead to rising labour shortages and to a pronounced slowdown in economic growth. Here are some of the projections in visual form. And the place of the United Kingdom in comparison to other countries in terms of older people working. So really the question is, what are the implications of these changes nationally to the future services for older people? And I suppose, how does this then relate to your current or to your future professional role? What I'm particularly interested in is the role and potential of workplace well-being for older people and how we enable older people to maintain their work roles for longer. In the next short podcast, we'll look at this in slightly more detail. But for now, I'd just like you to reflect on those questions and use your reflective journal to start to jot down some of your ideas and use discussion board to maybe listen to each other's reflections on that. Thank you very much.